Hey guys, it's Nikki from Ron the Grand's office, and we are here on site once again to film the Ask Ron segment for this week. We are at the Sheraton in Bellevue, Washington, and this is the Quick Start Real Estate School, and we have a nice groupie here, so I'll let Ron go ahead and start and introduce the people he's with.
If we can't answer your questions with this brain trust, it was a crappy question.
We agree.
I'm gonna let you guys all introduce Jay Start.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Jay Connor, the Private Money Authority out of Morehead City, North Carolina. And it's great to be here at the Quick Start in Seattle, Washington, and teaching about how to get unlimited funding for your deals.
Hi, my name is Jeannie Cheezick, and I'm one of Ron's mentors. I'm from San Francisco, California.
I'm Michelle Hoffecker, and Jeannie's my sister, and I'm a mentor for Ron the Grand.
Okay. And I'm Carlton Sheets. And this is
I'm Lynette
the Wolf Couple.
The Wolf Couple from Arizona. We are so excited. We love being at these Quick Start Real Estate Schools. We get to call sellers. We love calling sellers and closing deals for you guys, and we don't take a cut. That's what's so cool
All
about
right.
it.
This is about Q&A. Okay.
Now we got Chuck over
We
here.
can't let Brian talk then, can we? Brian, who are you?
I'm Brian Wolf, and I'm
That's enough.
married to Lynette.
All right, Chuck, who are you?
I'm Chuck Jurgens, and I'm with National Real Estate Insurance Group, and I'm also the president of the Triangle Real Estate Investors Association in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All righty, so fire away, Nikki.
All right, question number 1 is from Matthew McKinney in Missouri.
Hey, Matthew.
Hi, Matthew.
He asks, Ron, can you please explain the option to purchase agreement and what I need to do with the agreement after the seller and I have signed?
Well, that's actually a good question. The option to purchase agreement is simple. It's an option to purchase. You don't have to do anything with it except put it in your file, unless, of course, you live in a state like North Carolina.
Correct. And if you're in North Carolina, the option to purchase is required by law to be, actually the memorandum, to be recorded at the courthouse on public record until either the option is exercised or the option expires.
But you don't want to record it until you know you got a deal.
Exactly.
And that means when you find the buyer, then you record it at that time.
And there's a 3-day rescission.
That's correct.
Title rescission, and you got to do it within 5 business days
That's
in North
right.
Carolina.
That's
That's
North
right.
Carolina. I got bookends here on North Carolina. All right. In Florida, no such restriction. Arizona, no such
No restriction in
Minnesota,
Arizona.
no such restriction.
But you know what? It's a real good protection for you because it doesn't. It will preclude somebody coming in behind you and buying that property.
But
That's
again, only when you know you got a deal.
That's right.
All right, we has a second part to his question, and he says, how do I get paid in this scenario? And here it goes. I got a home under an option to purchase agreement for $188,000, and I found an end buyer for $220,000 that wants to buy with financing. Do I get paid by invoice from the seller, or can I do a simultaneous close without me having to put any money down?
All right. I'll take it. You definitely are not going to get paid from the seller. That's called a real estate commission. You need a license for that. So what you are going to do is you're going to find the buyer and likely have the seller deed it to the buyer and have the rest of it show on the HUD-1 as an option fee. What would you call it?
Yeah.
Option fee? Because the difference just shows an option fee, or you could show it as a second mortgage payoff. And no, you don't need a mortgage recorder or anything like that. You need to talk to your attorney that's going to do the closing, let him tell you how he thinks it ought to show. But it's a lot simpler if seller deeds it to buyer. It's even more important because the lender or the buyer is going to check the title before they close, and they're going to see it's in the seller's name, not yours. So you're likely going to need a new agreement when that buyer gets ready to go to underwriting, showing from seller to buyer. And again, you show your fee as an option fee. Any other input on that? You guys do it any different?
Nope.
No, that's it.
That encapsulates.
Okay, the next question is from Arthur Link in Georgia. And Arthur asks, When all the recent nearby comps are much larger or smaller than the subject, what is the best way to adjust the valuation so you can compare apples to apples?
Everybody want to take it?
You know what? Really the things we look for in comps obviously is proximity, date, and we always look at age of the property. Sometimes where we live, you'll have recent property development next to older property development, so it'll look close, but that's a big swinging value. I'll tell you what, whenever we look at these properties, if you're trying to figure something out with comps, I used to work for a mortgage company, and the biggest thing was how to figure out appraisals and how to bring in that number that you want. And when you're trying to figure comps on a property that there's no comps for, it's really, really difficult. And you know, I've seen appraisers jump through massive hoops, and you're supposed to be within a mile of your subject. I've seen people go 10 miles for this to try to figure this out. And it's just, there's no good way to do it, but you know what? It's what the market will bear. If you can get the thing under contract and offer it to the marketplace, you're going to find out what you can get
Real
for
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I can just add to that real quick, and it's a good question because, you know, in the past recent years with how the market has been, it's been hard to get comps sometimes. And so I'll look at comps and it's like, you know, what are we going to do with this? Well, that's where it's important to have a relationship with an appraiser, not just your realtor, but with an appraiser that knows the area, not because you're hiring them to appraise the property, but because, hey, you know, I want to send them to lunch every now and then or take them to lunch and say, look, if you were appraising this property, what would you do? So when I can't figure it out and I'm not comfortable with my own decision making, I'm going to take it to the expert.
All right.
All right, on to
Oh,
the,
wait a minute.
wait a minute.
Because neither one of them answered the question. Here's the answer really simple. Take the low one, take the high one. Be in the middle. That's your value. And the best you can do now anyway. But if you're going to buy this property, actually take title to it, you definitely want to get it appraised.
Amen.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, on to the next question, which is from Joe in Pennsylvania.
Hey, Joe.
And Joe says, Ron, I attended your terms course last weekend. Awesome job.
Thank you, Joe.
One of the new scripts you gave us is when a seller won't lease the option, seller with owner finance or subject to.
Right.
It
Want all
says,
cash. They want all cash.
the script says, so you're saying if I were to bring you a quality buyer and a substantial down payment, you'd rather not hear about them? I thought the substantial down payment from the buyer is how we make the money. Why would I tell a seller they would receive it?
Okay, first of all, you only put half that script in there.
Exactly.
If I bring you a quality buyer with a substantial down payment who can cash you out within a year or two at full price, are you saying you would not want to hear from them? I use the word substantial down payment. That doesn't mean the seller gets it all. If you are in fact explaining this property to the seller, you've told them, I'm going to keep the difference between what I get and what I can convince you to take. Therefore, I expect you to take a very small down payment. And that's what I tell them. However, understand the down payment I get from my buyer, even though they don't all go to you, shows that they have skin in the game and shows their commitment to cash you out at a later date.
Correct.
So don't be under the impression we're going to go do nice homes in nice neighborhoods, buy them with owner financing, and the seller's not going to get anything. Generally, they are going to get a down payment. It's just you want to keep it low.
Okay, the next question is from KJ Roberts in California.
Hey, Jay, where are you at?
All right, KJ.
Yeah, I haven't heard from KJ in a long time. I thought he died or something.
KJ has an involved scenario here, so let's
Oh,
go.
gosh.
Yes. I just bought a 3-2 home. $10,000 for the owner to walk away, and it needs $13,000 for repairs.
Okay?
PITI is $856 a month. The loan is for $116,000, 3.2% fixed, and it's not in an IRA. The value on the place for a quick sell is $240,000. I have been offered $1,725 per month to rent to a Section 8 family.
No. Stop.
Section 8.
Why on earth would you rent Section 8? Put a lease option tenant buyer in there and get a big whopping multi-$1,000 non-refundable deposit? No Section 8. Plus, you you can't put the repairs on a Section 8 tenant. So Section 8 is out. Lease option only. You guys can turn that air conditioner off, cut down the noise back here if you want to.
Yeah, it's over here.
Okay, the next question is from Court in Georgia. Everybody knows Court Robinson?
Yeah, Court.
All right, Court's question is, since your terms course is replacing Pretty Houses and Control Without Ownership, does it also replace the Seller Financing Boot Camp course?
No. No. In the seller financing boot camp course, we went to a lot greater deal in seller financing than we did in the terms course. And besides, you and I are probably the only two that even know it exists.
Okay, the final question is from Jay Watson in South Carolina.
Hey, Jay.
All right, hey Jay.
He says, Ron, I'm having a hard time making your system work here. People think I'm scamming them and I'm running out of money to fund the business. What do you think I should do?
Well, I think you should actually do what I ask you to do and follow my scripts and quit listening to the morons and deal with sellers who want to deal with you. If you go out and generate leads, people who say yes to terms and follow my scripts, you will get some sellers who want to do business with you. We're sitting here at a boot camp right now. There's about 75 or 80 people in the room. These two sat here and called leads that they brought in yesterday from all over the country, I might add, and did 10 deals on the phone last night in an hour and a half and got them orally accepted. So it comes down to, you do it the way you think it's done or you do it the right way. If you do it the right way, I don't care what state you live in, even if it is South Carolina.
Do it the right way.
I'm going to cut you some slack because it's South Carolina, but I suggest you get to if you've been to the Quick Start, you probably ought to get back, get up to date, because it's all changed, absolutely all changed. In fact, I'm doing one in Jacksonville next month, if you can still get in, because we're cutting that off pretty shortly, and followed by Tampa in February. Get back in there, or get in there, and let me show you how to do this business correctly. There is not one single problem that you're facing that isn't a very small problem that can't be overcome with a little focused effort on that problem. And I suspect it starts with where are you generating leads from, and let's go there first. Because if you start with a crappy source, you're going to get crappy sellers, you're going to get crappy answers. Have any of you ever heard questions like that? Is this a scam for more than one seller?
Sure.
For more than one seller, but certainly not as a group.
No, that's not common.
Absolutely not.
A huge part of that is how you present yourself, obviously.
I was
on
going
the
to say
phone.
positioning.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. If invariably, when we hear this from students who say it's just not working, the first question that comes to my mind is how many leads are you getting?
It's math.
I mean, because it's really math. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a numbers game.
Correct.
And usually it's those people that are trying to flog a dead horse and they got 5 leads in the last month and they're trying to turn something into nothing.
Trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. It don't work. Yeah.
But if you've got 20 leads coming in, and that's our bottom line baseline, if you don't have 20 leads coming in, you're not trying.
I tell them 10 to 15 a week,
Yeah.
which our VAs can produce for you.
That's
And
right.
I'm telling you, that will solve your problem of people
Yeah.
thinking it's a
Get
scam.
more leads. Talk only to those who want to do terms because the VA's got them to say yes, and watch a total different attitude. Talk to people who don't want terms. Talk to people who want full retail price, and I don't care what you say. You're not going to like the end result. You're certainly not
Correct.
going to like their answers.
Correct.
So that's it. Come on back. You're missing out on a fortune. Get in the system and learn the system, implement the system, and you'll see a big change with a marginal shift.
For all you folks who haven't been back for a while, come on back. Lynette and me
Come
are
on
at
back.
all the quick starts in J2.
Bring
so,
lots of leads. We
And-
love
Yes.
calling your sellers.
yes. And of course, Nikki.
And about 25% of the manual has been changed in the last 2 months alone. So we're constantly updating. All right, anybody else have any?
No, we just saw great deals and people
Yeah.
buying left and right
Yeah,
from all over.
yes. All
Very
right,
exciting.
Maybe they need a mentor.
okay. Well, with that said, I hope we answered the questions for this week. We'll probably never get this group together again.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you next week.
Okay, good to see y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.